So hello, good afternoon. You will be handling my slide today. You need to unmute yourself. I think you need to go to the previous slide.
Sir, this side okay?
Hello.
Sir,
Uh,
this side okay?
yeah, this slide is okay.
Can we start, sir?
Yeah, I can start. Like, are we ready? Okay. So we are continuing from our previous lecture. So this is where we are left. There's something which is called as a PESTEL analysis. PESTEL stands for political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal issues. Or what we are saying is कि it's a environmental scan on a broader sense as to how circular economy and circular supply chain is going to closed loop supply chain is going to to be looked at. Okay. So it is interesting. Yesterday, I was asked that can we have certain Indian examples? So there were some examples which were there in my mind. One is if we are looking into uh, the reduction of coal as an industrial fuel. So what is happening is that we are going in for certain alternate items for the industrial fuel. One is this pellets. Pellets is basically they get all the wood shaving and maybe bagasse and other thing. They mix it with the cow dung. The example which I had seen, they had mixed it with cow dung, and they were making small pellets out of it. Those pellets are used as fuel in boilers. So that way, what is happening is that we are reducing our reliance on coal as the only fuel, and the ultimate thing is that there is this waste material that is getting used as a fuel. So keeping that in mind, we are looking at this political factor. So we are talking about, are there regulations? For example, EU Circular Economy Action Plan. EU stands for European Union. EPR laws favoring circular economy. So these are environment protection rules. So environment protection, or I'm forgetting what it is. So these are some of the things which are giving you a broader understanding as to what could be, what regulations we are putting in so that our environment becomes more sustainable. And why it is political? Because it is enforced by some, let's say, European Union or some kind of body which is which is looking into such a thing. Economic is the ROI in recycling, refurbishing being achieved or not. So we had seen yesterday in the example of Apple that Apple saves around 40 million a year via recycling. So it should not happen that we are doing recycling and we are bearing an additional cost. There should be some savings out of that recycling. Then there is the social. Social issues are, do consumers prefer sustainable brands? That is 60% of Gen Z pays more for eco-friendly products. So these new generation people, maybe the kids that people like me would be are having, they are very aware of environment and environmental factors. So they are interested in this. Is this a recycled? item or not. If it is recycled, probably they might like to pay extra and use that. Whereas some other generation, which has lived through all that extra, abundance of goods, they might not be worried about such things. In fact, in a country like India, we are more price sensitive. So anything, anywhere the price goes up, we are not interested in going for that particular product. But in overseas, if environment is getting saved, and because of that we are paying a higher price, they are going in for that. So such factors are coming into the things. Then technological are advanced recycling techniques or technology uh, available, and if what kind of research is going on, and if there is some breakthrough, then will that technology be made available to everyone? Um, so that is one of the things that if something has been developed, it should not be like this, that if it is going to save environment, then you put a patent to it and say that no, I'm not going to allow use of such a thing. So that should not be there, and that has been taken care by this technological factor. Environmental factor are carbon footprint that we had discussed last time. So I don't think that we need to discuss it any further. The objective is that we are able to reduce the carbon emission, and CO2 or carbon dioxide happens to be one of the major contributing greenhouse gases. Then legal issues are that are there penalties for non-compliance? So if you do not achieve something, you do not get that PF factor as 99.5, then there will be some penalty put against you. If you do not get your chrome recovery as 99.5 or 98.5, then there will be some penalty which will be levied on you. These penalties might even extend to the level of product not being entertained in one particular market. So those people who are exporting to US and European Union, they find it very disturbing when their lot gets rejected because one of their fine, you know, environmental laws is not being met. And because of that, the whole lot is rejected. Can we move on to the next slide? So that was pattern analysis. So that's how we strategize. And another is SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So here we are talking of, and when we are talking of circular economy, we talk of lower material cost. For example, Tesla is reusing batteries to save something like $1,500 per car. So just because they are reusing these batteries, so it is reducing their cost also, and it is also saving environment. So this becomes a strength for Tesla, that they have this ability of reusing the batteries. This also becomes interesting because that means any car which is going into uh, electric vehicle will either have to get their batteries made from Tesla, or they will have to have their own battery manufacturing plant or recycling plant. So that increases the entry barrier. Weakness is high initial investment. So that's the reason why India has been a laggard in electric vehicle race, because
ये जबरदस्ती हुआ है into हो रहा है
such large investments are yet to see the light of the day. Whatever electric vehicle we have had so far, generally the major components are manufactured somewhere else and they are brought into India, and then it has been assembled. So this is what is happening. Uh, there had been a lot of talks where a number of companies like Amar Raja, which is there in South, a battery manufacturing giant, is supposed to make a lot of investment and get these green initiatives up by coming few years. And once it is done, probably we'll be seeing more of electric vehicles running in India. Opportunities are new revenue streams. We have seen the example of Patagonia, Woundwear generates $100 million per year. So that's the figure that we had seen last time. Some of these Indian fabric manufacturing, where they transfer the work of one particular piece of cloth onto the other. For example, in the jari work or in some other like Banarsi silk and other places, they do such a thing where they transfer the work of one sari onto the other sari. So but this is done at a very low level, maybe at a level of a boutique or something like that. But at a industry level, I have not seen any example. Then threats are consumer resistance, that is their reluctance to pay for the recycled product. Because it's our tendency, if something is old, then it should be given at half the price. So yes, that also brings in a lot of problem. Any point of clarification needed in the point so far? Okay, let's move on to the next slide. So whenever we are discussing strategies, so Porter's 5 force model is very important. It talks basically of suppliers' power, buyers' power, competitive rivalry, and threats of substitute, and barriers, entry barriers for any new product. So all these factors, these 5 factors, they affect an industry or any unit which is going to come up. So when we are looking at circular economy, uh, let us look at all these factors one by one. So supplier power means that fewer virgin material suppliers are there, and there is more reliance on recycles. So if recyclers are getting more kind of say into it, then these recyclers, they become very important entity as far as making available of that product is concerned. Yesterday, we are talking of some plastic material which was being used in turbines, and they were not able to find as to how to dispose it of. So probably that material might be proving as one of the substitute products in some other industry. So that connection we'll have to link. So they will become suppliers for the recycled items, and hence they will be having an advantage. So that is the kind of thing, and that is the kind of approach, or that is the kind of power the suppliers are going to have in the near future. In buyer's power, eco-conscious buyer, they demand circular economy compliance. For example, the customers of H&M, they are going only for H&M products because they feel that they have some onus towards earth, and in order to keep it green, uh, they would like to wear clothes which are branded as recycled, that is they are the green products. So they are not contributing to the uh, greenhouse effect. So those buyers, they will be creating a group of their own. So maybe the Greenpeace society, which is more prominent in US and other places, they are strong to that extent that they can stop a project. So that is the level of brand loyalty that we see. Competitive rivalry between the two firms. Here they have taken example of Adidas and Nike. So they are talking of that, can we can we have a shoe which is recycled? So maybe we are talking of a shoe which can be uh, no, shoe is if it is made out of leather, it means that there's a lot of chemical which has been used. So what they are saying is that we recycle this particular shoe, And when you recycle that particular shoe, they make changes in the inner lining and other such thing. But the basic leather is same, and they are using it. So that way, people are now, since one has started, the other will also have to start the same thing because they have to flank their competitor. They will have to compete with their competitor. So since one has launched a green shoe, the other will also launch a green shoe. That is what we have seen in case of Adidas and Nike. Then threats of substitute, biodegradable material, for example, mushroom leather, disrupt traditional recycling. So we are talking of that leather is getting completely removed by some products. So here it is mushroom leather, which is also called as a green leather or bio leather, where uh, this leather is made out of certain mushrooms. They treat them and then it looks like your leather, and that's how it is used. And the biggest advantage is since that is made out of mushroom, it is biodegradable in nature. Now, leather itself is not biodegradable. Hide is, but once you treat it with chromium for such a large amount of chromium, it becomes totally non-biodegradable. And hence it will last for a very long number of years. So this kind of green leather is biodegradable, and uh, what do we say? Uh, it is biodegraded and it is consumed in the earth without hurting the earth. So barriers to entry is, of course, the high technology cost. So Tesla, we have already discussed that. So in order to set up a Tesla kind of recycling, you require $50 million setup. So that is the kind of entry barrier you're having. If you have that much money, you can go ahead. So it is very interesting that when Tesla came up with this idea, it was very confident that no one is going to beat them in this particular game. But as soon as they entered China, they found that very soon there were 10 more companies which were playing in the same arena, and they were able to give better result than Tesla. Now, this is very interesting because Tesla had their own battery manufacturing and recycling system. But when it came to China, China developed one battery recycling system, and that was providing feed to all the 10 companies which Chinese are having. And hence, these companies, they don't have to worry about uh, how we are going to produce these batteries. They are just simply worried about one thing, how to market this particular product and make it more and more fascinating for the customers to go for it. And that is the reason that even at worldwide, now Tesla is not number one electric manufacturing car company. It is a Chinese company. So that is the state of the affairs. Shall we move on to the next slide? Okay, we can skip this slide also, life cycle assessment. Okay, so these are the key takeaways of the presentations which we have seen so far. So we have talked about circular economy, which is giving you an economic model uh, of an economy which is not dependent on a state economy. That is, you get the input, you process it, and you take an output. No, it is something else. It takes the output, refabricate it, and then reuse it. That's the thing. So that's your closed loop supply chain, which is a technical execution of circular economy. These two terms, they go hand in hand. If you want to have a successful circular economy, you got to have a very well-defined and robust closed loop supply chain in order to execute this circular economy. So the analysis tools which you have seen, they are Pestle, SWOT, Porter, Porter's 5 force model. And we have skipped this LCA, so it has got a very little significance. So we have skipped it. And then the success factors, as we have seen, Apple, where the Daisy robot is recovering huge amount of gold and other such material from old phones. Consumer education, as it is there in Patagonia, where Patagonia is making its customers know that by using the Patagonia clothing, they are actually recycling the clothing, and hence they are contributing to the environment. At the same time, they are also looking trendy. Then policy support. In this case, we are talking about the EU Circular Economy Package, where the European Union is emphasized on, or it has promoted the use of recycled items, and they are giving certain benefits to these or subsidies to these recycled items. Let's move on to the next slide. We had also talked about closed loop supply chain. It should be giving you both the things, profit as well as planet. That means you're saving the environment. Technology is a critical thing. So technology, the high-end technology has been used in Apple. It has been used in H&M, where the old clothes are getting converted into fiber. Then again, it is getting converted into clothing. So that is the level of technology that we might be using or we are using in circular economy. Then consumer engagement, which drives the success. So you have a concept and you tell it to everyone, you spread the good word around, and what you get is a Patagonia storytelling or Patagonia company, which is into recycled products. There's a product which started in Kanpur, which utilized these flowers, which were there in number of temples. You see these flowers which are offered to the deity. They collected these flowers, they dried them up, and then they converted them into incense sticks. So that became very popular. It was the company was working successfully for a number of years. Then they forayed into a number of areas, and I think that's where their economy got disturbed a bit, and company either is not functioning right now, or there is uh, it is having some cash problem at the current junction. So why I mentioned that, if I compare that example of Kanpur, where innovative idea, such a good idea was used, the reason it did not become a success was that the scale of operation was very small and it could be easily copied. Whereas when we look at Tesla or when we look at H&M, the scale of operation is very, very large. Hence, the entry barrier is very large. And as soon as the entry barrier is large, you have an advantage of being unique in that particular field. And as long as you are unique, you are able to command a price. As long as you are, as soon as you become non-unique or you become ubiquitous, then the problem happens. जैसे ही आप कॉमन हो गए, आपका प्राइसिंग वॉर चालू हो जाएगा, फिर आपके प्रॉफिट नहीं रहेंगे. फिर वो जो इक्वेशन हम यहाँ देख रहे हैं, प्रॉफिट प्लस प्लैनेट, इसमें प्रॉफिट गायब हो जाएगा, प्लैनेट ही रह जाएगा. तो फिर प्लैनेट पे जब हम बात करते हैं तो फिर वो एनजीओ की तरह काम करता है. तो एनजीओ के बेसिस पे हम बिजनेस रन करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है. सो दैट इज व्हाट जनरली वी कम अक्रॉस. सो आई थिंक we can move on to the next slide. So we'll be now looking at the example of Mumbai Dabbawalas, which I was discussing last time. So before we go on to the movie of Dabbawalas, do we have any queries or any questions? If no, then we can go ahead with the film, which is going to tell you as to how Dabbawalas, they they run their operation. So the interesting thing to know out there is that look at the amount of investment they have done. Look at the simplicity that they are having, and also look at what kind of carbon footprint this company is leaving. Please start the movie.
Time constraints deprive him of a good breakfast. The battle to board a train needs both his hands to be free too. Hence, carrying a tiffin or a bag by him is simply out of question. Deprivation of a good breakfast, economy in expenses, health and hygiene, dietary preferences and habits make the middle-class working people of Mumbai cherish homemade lunch at their workplaces. And mind that 200,000 of them are having it on all working days on time, thanks to the Mumbai Dabbawalas. The shelf life of these lunches are just 4 to 5 hours. Therefore, timely delivery to the right owner decides the quality of service. Mix-up of tiffins will defeat the very purpose of this service and its business potential. Hence, speed and precision in handling are most crucial. One tiffin box shifts hands in transit at least 6 times before it reaches its consumer in his office. The same is the case in its return journey as an empty tiffin. This means that there are 2.4 million manual movements in transit and 400,000 end deliveries within a time span of 3 to 4 hours pre-noon and 3 to 4 hours afternoon every day, handled by 5,000 dabbawalas. Except the train, everything is manually handled with no technologies at all. In today's world of Six Sigma quality standards and super technologies for supply chain and logistic management, it is a miracle that the failure or mistakes in the service of the Mumbai Dabbawalas is only 1 in 16 million end deliveries. That too by accidents or acts of God, and not by human failure, despite the fact that human beings are everything in this service. It is way ahead of Six Sigma quality standards. Mind that the Dabbawalas are literate only to the level of understanding alphabets. Also mind that this Dabbawala's business is 114 years old. The average age of a Dabbawala is 52 years. There is no retirement age. Many Dabbawalas are third generation inheritors of the business. People changed. Distances multiplied, complexities and sophistication in urban life increased. Traffic congestions and bottlenecks are mind-boggling. Yet the Mumbai Dabbawalas are the same, with their technology of bicycles, handcarts and the local trains, and of course themselves. Yet they are the best in the world in time management, customer care and quality of service. So, how do you think does a Dabbawala work? He is Mr. Arun Kondaji Bacche. Prayers over, ready to go. This place is Rawalpade near Dahisar, 50 kilometers from Churchgate. Arun has to walk 3 kilometers to Dahisar station to take the 7:42 am local train to Virar, which is 20 kilometers further from Dahisar. At 8:15, Arun is at Virar. It is 9:05 am. Arun is at Mrs. Jyoti Bhatt's house. This tiffin has to be delivered to Mr. Paresh Bhatt, her husband, at his office at Fort, 66 kilometers away. And this must happen before 1 p.m. Arun has to catch the 9:39 fast local train to Churchgate from Virar. It is 9:30 am. The Dabbawalas operate in autonomous groups of 20 to 30 people. Everyone is expected to serve 40 customers on the collection as well as distribution fronts respectively. The customers one collects the tiffins from and the customers whom they deliver are different. In few cases, they could be the same also. Depending on the density of customers, one may collect less number but distribute more. Another may collect 45 and distribute 35. It all depends on the spread of the area. It is 9:39 a.m. The train starts. At 9:46 a.m. It is Nalasopara station. Sorting is done online.
That is the essence.
10 a.m. It is Bhayandar station. At 10:05 a.m. It is the Mira Road station. 10:11 a.m. It is Dahisar, where Arun took the train for Virar. Sorting is still on. Look at the number of Dabbawalas. Easily identifiable with the white Gandhi cap. It is mandatory so that they can be spotted easily in the crowd. 10:15 a.m. It is the Borivali station. Now onwards, this train is a fast service and therefore will stop at selective hub stations only. Hence, tiffins from earlier station areas to be delivered at the in-between stations are to be offloaded at stations where this train stops. After Borivali, the incoming tiffins won't come in this train, as they have already moved towards Mumbai city in slow trains which halt at all stations. 10:40 a.m. It is Bandra station. In this way, between 9 a.m. and 11:30 a.m., there are 200,000 tiffins in transit in various trains, on bicycles or on handcarts.
1890, one Dabbawala, one customer. As on today, we'll see 5,000 Dabbawalas and 200,000 tiffins every day they deliver. Can you imagine? It means one man can carry approximately 40 tiffins. 40 tiffins weight comes to, with food, 65 to 70 kg. Can you imagine? 65, 70 kg they are carrying on their head. Imagine, friend, don't alternative to hard work. And among these 5,000 people, average literacy, 8th grade schooling. Friends, believe me, passion, commitment, consistency, 100% execution, accuracy, dedication, time management, and customer satisfaction. These qualities are inbuilt in Mumbai Dabbawala. Their principle, work is worship, customer is God, no alternative to hard work, and of course, importance of human values. In 120 years, it never happened. Your lunchtime started and Dabbawala not yet came. Impossible, impossible. They will never tell you trains are late. Why? In Mumbai, trains may be running every day late. So can Dabbawala will come every day late? That's the reason Mumbai people says our watch can go wrong, but not the Mumbai Dabbawalas. They always come in time. That's a commitment, friends. What it take, my dear, I don't think it requires much more things. It just requires the commitment of timing. Of course, it possible maybe their structure is very strong. Total 5,000 Dabbawalas. President also a Dabbawala. He is not some different man. He also a Dabbawala. Of course, very important thing, Mukadams. It's a Marathi word, regional language. Mukadam means you can say group leader or supervisor. They have a lot of groups. In that group, sometime 10, 20, 30 Dabbawalas, depend on the density of customer in your areas. Suppose in one area, 10 Dabbawalas are having one group. Among 10, one person will be the group leader. I am showing how one Dabbawala is working from morning till your office in lunchtime. So you will come to know how individual Dabbawala work for his duty. Suppose this is Vile Parle buildings, this is a Dabbawala. He will collect 40 tiffin from some areas, one area. What is his job? He will collect 40 tiffin and brought this 40 tiffin from Ville Parle to this station. First job is over. He will put 40 tiffins. He cannot deliver all 40 tiffins because 40 tiffins are of customers all scattered all over Mumbai. One man cannot go all the places. He will brought 40, put at this station. First job is over. He will get second job. A, collect this 40, another 35 and carry from Ville Parle to Dadar. He will carry 35 tiffin from Ville Parle and drop at Dadar. Second job is over. Third job, from Dadar to Charni Road, put 30 tiffins. He will put. Fourth job, from Charni Road to Churchgate, 40 tiffins. Fifth job, from Churchgate to Nariman Point, 40 tiffins. Sixth job, from Nariman Point, this express tower building, in this express tower, 25 customers are there. Deliver 25 tiffins to that express tower customer before lunch time. After lunch is over, he will come same reverse journey. When he will come back to Ville Parle, he will receive his all 40 empty tiffins, which he only will deliver at your houses. That's it. Like that, all 5,000 people are working tirelessly throughout the day, all the days. Imagine, friends. Of course, they feel proud. Working system, error rate, 1 in 16 million transactions. Imagine, friends. Forbes magazine, they want to give 6 sigma. So they told 1 error in 16 million. Actually, there is no error, Dabawala says. And that too, without technology, friends. Why it happened? Because of their attitude and approach. Yes. And important thing is what? Discipline. Friends, no alcohol drinking, smoking during business hours. So rule, if anybody found, 500 rupees fine. Imagine, friends. Cap is compulsory. Because identity, yes, because of cap, they can be spotted easily in the crowd. So cap is compulsory. I-card is compulsory. No leave without prior notice. Sir, if anybody remain absent without information, 1,000 rupees fine for Dabawala. 1,000 rupees fine. Why? If you remember, I told you, I shown you in the morning, from morning to evening, at least 8 to 10 hub stations they work. It means in a day, they handle directly at least 500 tiffins. If you remain absent, all tiffin will get disturbed. So you must inform. If you inform in a group, they have substitute. They will work, but you must inform. Local train is main mode of transport. Without local train, they can't deliver. But from residence to station, station to office, second mode of transport is bicycle. Bicycle can carry 40, 50 tiffins. No investment, no fuel, no parking problem. Coding system is very important. See, try to understand. This is VLP. VLP stand for Ville Parle, the residential station of customer. E stand for Dabawala, who will collect from Ville Parle your tiffin. When he will collect from Ville Parle, your working area is number 3, called Nariman Point. It means Dabawala will come to Ville Parle and this tiffin will travel from Ville Parle to Nariman Point. During this traveling of tiffin, this tiffin will mix at least 6 times by different people, but will reach Nariman Point. When this tiffin will reach at Nariman Point, who will pick this tiffin? Number now Dabawala. He will deliver express tower at 12th floor because your office is at 12th floor. Tiffin is reached at your floor. Prince Charles came to Mumbai in 2003. When Prince Charles supposed to come, before Prince Charles supposed to come, British consulate in India, Jitendra Jain Sahab, he phoned to Dabawala. Dabawala, Prince Charles want to meet you after 6 months. Dabawala allowed. With 2 requests. First request, Prince Charles should come as per our timing, not as per his timing. Why? Dabawala free between this time. Number 2, we cannot go to Prince Charles. Prince Charles should come to us. Where? Churchgate footpath. Sir, Honorable Jain Sahab asked on the phone, Dabawala, why you speak like this? What Dabawala told? Sir, he is the king of London, but 200,000 customers are the great king. We cannot disturb our customer for one king. That's why these conditions. And the great Prince Charles accepted the timing and place. He told, amazing, nobody can work like you. Not only Prince Charles, even Richard Branson came to Mumbai. Mr. Branson told to media people, I will place this photo in my office and I will tell my employees, work like Dabbawalas.
Their city may be changing and demand for this extraordinary cooperative may be diminishing, but the Dabbawallas believe their culinary courier service will survive, or else the mighty Indian family might not.
Okay, so that was the film which was showing the simplicity of Dabbawalas. And not only that, it also showed a very uh, different aspect of an Indian. And that's why circular economy and this uh, sustainable supply chain and other such terms, which are so vogue in US. If we look very minutely, then we find that we have had this kind of culture since ages. And for us, it is more like a common sense. A typical example is कि there's a saying in Hindi कि धोती फाड़ा रुमाल कर दिया और बस वैसे ही कुछ होता है. Clothing is never lost its grace. They use it as a mop, they use it as a duster, they use it as a, I don't know, all different ways. And hence, ये जो sustainability है, the ability to reuse or recycle is something which is there in India. And that's why I took the example of zari work getting transferred onto some other cloth. क्योंकि ये जो टेक्निक्स है जिसे आज यूरोप और यूएस बहुत ही माइन्यूटली देख रहा है और कह रहा है कि हमने कुछ नया चीज ढूंढा है जिसे हम सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी कहेंगे. तो ऐसी सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी तो शायद इंडिया में कई एक जगह हो रही थी, शायद हर एक घर में हो रही थी. इसीलिए हम जब उस चीज को देखेंगे तो उतना यूफोरिया नहीं होगा जितना यूएस में इस चीज को लेके है, क्योंकि वहां पे जो उनकी जो थिंकिंग है वो थोड़ी सी अलग है. वो पहले किसी चीज को कंज्यूम कर रहे थे, व्हेन द कंज्यूमरिज्म वाज गोइंग ऑन इन यूएस, दे वर वेस्टिंग थिंग्स लाइक एनीथिंग. And now when they are trying to save or reuse the items, they are unnecessarily reusing to a very large extent. शायद इंडिया में ये काम दोनों तरफ से पहले से ही होता आ रहा है. ये थोड़ा सा कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है, और इसलिए ये सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी जो है थोड़ा स्लोली इंडिया में पॉपुलर होगी. कल एक क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था कि ऐसी चीजें क्या इंडिया में हैं, तो मैंने यही कहा था कि ये छोटे लेवल पे तो बड़ा काम हो रहा है, मगर जो बड़े लेवल पे काम होना है वो अभी नहीं हो पा रहा है, क्योंकि दैट मच ऑफ रिटर्न is not being seen. So with this, I'm ending my session. So if we have any questions, we can take it up. Otherwise, I think we can be guided as to what is to be done now.
Hello everyone. If anyone have any questions, can ask please. The announcement from our side also to be done is, I hope the screen is visible to everyone. So from tomorrow, 3 to 5, we are going to have a startup Mahakumbh at Delhi. And it is going to be a global event, like not only for India, but बहुत सारे लोग बाहर से भी आने वाले, and we are going to collaborate. Like agri-tech, deep tech, fintech, climate change, a lot of incubators are going to be there. And because you people are doing a course directly from the UP government, so we are inviting कि अगर आप में से जो लोग वहाँ पे जा रहे हो, kindly share your logo so that we can from our side make the creative and share from our social media, ताकि आपको एक बेहतर elevated platform मिले to represent yourself. So whoever people are going from this side, kindly share your logo. That was all the announcement that we have to do. And if anyone has any question, kindly ask. then I think we can wrap the session. And if अगर कोई और doubt आएगा sir, हम आपको DM कर देंगे on WhatsApp or on mail.
Definitely, definitely. I'll be looking forward for it.
Thank you sir. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you. Same to you.